Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday and happy new month. Those of you who were born in the September and why not, you are welcome to the month, the period of the month of Iba. And I wish you a happy birthday in advance to some of you out there, dear viewers, fellow Ambazonians. My name is Fabiano Lego, your humble servant. I am coming here today to throw light on some of the things that are happening in the Ambazonian community, and also to bring to you, to your attention, reactions from states, from countries around the globe concerning the issue in Southern Cameroon, concerning the incomplete decolonization of the territory of Southern Cameroon, which is today occupied by La République du Cameroon. And I would like you to note that this is the very first country in the world where the United Nations has allowed or maybe neglected its actual right to statehood. Southern Cameroon, we call it Ambazonia. Some countries that have reacted towards this conflict, which is 8 years plus now. And also, I told you last time about organization, the international community, what the United Nations said, what the African Union said, and why not the European Union. And I will bring to you reactions from international organizations, that is to say non-governmental organizations. So let me just go through a rundown of what some countries have done. It will shock you with what some countries have done as far as this particular issue is concerned. Now we are in the continent of Africa. Let us go through Africa and see what each country has done so far since the people of Southern Cameroon, they rose up and said enough is enough on the October, that when the lawyers and teachers, they actually put those grievances in front of the occupational forces of La République du Cameroon and their colonial government. Now in Africa we have Chad, and I will also drop the link to this particular article in our WhatsApp channel. So those of you who are in my WhatsApp channel, you can go through it and you get yourself acquainted with what is happening in Ambazonia, what some people have done, and why not. When we know what people have done, we will know what, who, how they did what did they say concerning the plight of the people of Southern Cameroon. Now Africa, Chad. According to unverified report, Chadian president, that was then, Idriss Déby, agreed to deploy Chadian troops to the Anglophone regions to fight the separatists. In February 2018, it was reported that Chadian troops had been fighting in Southern Cameroon for weeks. However, no physical evidence of such a deployment has been provided. In March 2019, the Chadian president then called for other African states to get involved and assist in ending the conflict. And you will note that most countries do support behind the scenes. Some of you know about Chadian troops that were discovered without, we saw them in Southern Cameroon. And that's really an article that was written, we found it online, and I said, let me bring it to your attention. Now, Egypt, in December 2019, Egypt voiced support for the major national dialogue held 2 months prior to that particular time. Equatorial Guinea. In January 2018, President Teodoro Obiangema Basogo called for dialogue as the best way to end the Anglophone crisis. Equatorial Guinea has voted against attempts to bring the Anglophone crisis up to discussion at the UN Security Council and has endorsed the peace effort by the Cameroonian government. In December 2019, Equatorial Guinea called for international assistance to the parties. Ethiopia. As a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, Ethiopia has voted against attempts to bring the Anglophone crisis up to discussion. Ghana. In 2019, it was revealed that weapons produced in Ghana had been smuggled into Southern Cameroon, promoting a meeting between Paul Biya and Ghanaian MP Albert Khan Dapa. Ghana has taken in refugees who have fled the Anglophone regions. In August 2019, Sokadef leader Ebenezer Akwanga was briefly questioned by the Ghanaian Bureau of National Investigations, Ivory Coast. As a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, the Ivory Coast has voted against attempts to bring the Anglophone crisis up to discussion. When an informal discussion was held, the Ivory Coast voiced support for the peace efforts by the Cameroonian government. Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari vowed to prevent the separatists from operating from Nigerian territory. Nigeria will take necessary measures within the ambit of the law to ensure that her territory is not used as a staging area to destabilize another friendly sovereign country. Having its own separatist elements to worry about and benefiting from military cooperation with Cameroon against Boko Haram, Nigeria has been mostly supportive of the Cameroonian government. In January 2018, Nigeria arrested the Ambazonian leadership on its territory, including President Sisiku Ayub Tabe. They were then extradited to Cameroon and jailed for a year before the start of a court case in January 2019. However, this was not without controversy, as the Ambazonian leaders had all submitted asylum claims. On March 1st, 2019, a Nigerian court ruled that the 12 Ambazonian leaders should be returned to Nigeria and compensated 5 million naira each for the wrongful extradition. 57 other activists were also to be returned and to be given smaller compensations. This was not followed by any action by the Nigerian government. In July 2019, Nigeria pledged to prevent separatist fighters from smuggling firearms across the border or training in Nigeria. In February 2020, Nigeria set aside 100 hectares of land where refugees from the Anglophone regions could build farms and work the land, and donated approximately 1.4 billion CFA francs to help them get started. Despite Nigeria's official policy, Ambazonian separatists frequently cross the border to buy firearms and to recruit fighters in refugee camps. There are also officers in the Nigerian army who support the separatists by arranging arms deals. South Africa. In May 2019, as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, South Africa opposed an effort by the United States and the European Union to discuss the Anglophone crisis at the UN Security Council. Taking a position shared by other African countries, South Africa held that the African Union, not the United Nations, should be responsible for handling the Anglophone crisis. Due to the objections, only an informal discussion was held at the UN Security Council on May 13. However, South Africa criticized the Cameroonian government for being insincere in its efforts to end the crisis and for committing human rights violations. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, this is where I will wrap the things for this particular moment, and I want to promise you that I will be coming with reaction from countries in Asia, the Caribbean, South America, and what exactly has the United States, Canada, Europe, they have done. What did they say? Who said what? Who has done what as far as the Southern Cameroon's struggle for independence is concerned? Remember, we are talking about a country whose independence was, their rights were violated. That is the former trust territory of British Southern Cameroon. We are talking about Ambazonia, today called Ambazonia. The right to self-determination was totally violated, and this is unacceptable. That's why the people say enough is enough. I think I don't want the material to be long. I will drop the link to this article in my WhatsApp channel, and you can read it at any time when you deem it necessary. I think I'll call it a day for now. And I wish you again an excellent time, a happy Sunday. Don't forget, when you watch videos like this, if it's good, why not share it for other people to also have a clue about it. We are here on three missions. The first one is to educate, the second is to inform, and the third is to sensitize our people on what is happening back home, what has happened so far in our liberation struggle. Without much ado, I remain your humble servant, Fabiano Deco. I will see you again on our next update. Bye-bye for now.